For many a year, I have waited to be reunited with you. Forever and onwards, let me be the wind to thy wings. Let me serve ever gracefully at your side. As you, the master, and me, your ever dutiful maid.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chartreuse Proxy 4.1 special program. My name is de la Cruz, the voice actor behind Chartreuse Proxy herself, and I'll be one of your hosts, guiding you through the new updates coming for all you Cruzmates to enjoy. Now, joining me today are two faces you should be very familiar with from the main story quest and Fortune's Maid Affection quest. If you would like to introduce yourselves.
Hello, and may the Spider Queen bless your days. I'm Flanny, High Priestess and co-host of this wonderful anniversary stream.
I'm Falseblood, Mercenary of Death and Bearer of the 13th Terror. Talk is cheap. My services aren't, so put your money where your mouth is, and maybe we can talk business. Good afternoon. This is Ian Falsef, voice actor for Ian Falseblood, and your third guide for the special program announcement.
Always serious as ever, Ein. Never a dull moment for you, both in-game or interacting here with the viewers on stream,
Now, Cruz, you'll be getting enough attention already, especially with all the new updates we have to announce anyway.
So, let's not delay any further, and delve into the 5-year anniversary of Chartreuse Proxy. The initial core idea of Chartreuse Proxy bloomed during the COVID era, with many corporations such as Hololive and Niji Sanji giving inspiration. In the middle of 2020, Chartreuse Proxy first then debuted, not even on Twitch, but on YouTube Live, with a development budget of a $5 down payment for a model and a new iPhone as a birthday gift to run the earliest beta of Vtuber Studio. With only a single developer behind the project, there wasn't even any assets or overlays. It wasn't until 6 months in that the devs finally created their very first own overlays, including the first round of stream panels and branding of the Maid to be.
And from that point on, every year on the anniversary of Chartreuse Proxy, there's always been a graphical update to match the theme of the year, and reflect some of the past major updates. What initially started as a budgeting choice by the art team led into a tradition for the yearly version update to showcase the style and skill evolution of the art team. Of course, though, we can certainly see a big jump in old Cruzy's personality with each version update as well, with you leaning in for that little mage of mishaps that you identified yourself as, even though you're still as little as before.
Hey, I've grown 2 inches in these 5 years.
Entering 2022, the main story first started as the Mage of Mishaps, as Ian previously mentioned, a simple adventurer who reverse isekai'd all of her fellow family to the world known as Earth, now streaming as there's no way to go back home. For version 2.0, Chartreuse Proxy founded the earliest iteration of GaleForce with a staff of 5 people, including herself and me, and called upon them for the new style guide. The update really leaned into the history of the adventurer herself, giving Chartreuse her signature adventuring gear, and bringing the overall theme of the stream to a bright blue sky. Of course though, nothing will ever top the slime Chartreuse with the flanny or the nettleberry and egg flanny.
We'll get on to those outfits and costumes a little bit later in the program. But yes, in addition to 2023's usual changes and updated style guide to now reflect the sky blue palette, there's many different limited time events that came around. Halloween, Christmas, and other seasonal events brought new colors, costumes, alongside of course bigger celebrations that were server-wide, such as the April Fools, which brought many different stuffed opportunities to showcase what the editing team can really do when they push the engine to its limits.
Those were some dark days for those April Fool's patches, but development and support for staff continued to grow as Chartreuse Proxy gained more and more notoriety, with 2024's year for the Wonderful Wind Mage, who, to showcase their appreciation for the first group of friends and support staff that they had in the earliest and most difficult years, donned a new outfit and took up a new profession, becoming the modern incarnation known today as the Wondrous Wind Maid of GaleForce, complete with a new look that takes us further above the skies and into the ocean of stars above.
Of course though, we've only covered the stream overlays of Chartreuse Proxy, and have yet to cover the many models that have literally shaped and defined her today. So let's start with giving the flowers to our artists, starting with the very first one back in 2020, Yamio Sakura-san. Initially found off a search on Booth, Yamio Sakura has always been a professional, communicating with our staff despite the language barriers early on in our career to deliver a model in every single year of Chartreuse Proxy, helping out as either a key artist or supporting Lori and Rigger throughout each incarnation. Do be sure to give her your own flowers, as she was a maid before Cruzy was, and consistently streams her own games or own art and rigging process on her own YouTube channel and live streams. Honorable mentions on this page go to debut sister Serena Penguina, who assisted in making the 2021 casual outfit of the 1.0 Chartreuse Proxy, and our own dear co-host Flanny here, who is head concept artist for the 2.0 and 3.0 model updates. However, her influence does not stop there, as Yamir Satura-san had not only done 2D models, but also created her own 3D models, dating back to 2020, with her influence showing in the 1.0 release of Chartreuse Proxy. For 2.0, Artisty Ulu was contacted from Fiverr, delivering both the 2.0 model for Chartreuse Proxy and even Flanny's first 3D model, as part of the new Affection Quest system accessible with the VR chat collaboration. As part of the server-wide seasonal events, 2 additional costumes had also come out in 3D, one affectionately named Cruzmates Proxy by the community, released of course for Christmas, and the first ever Maid model before the current Maid of GaleForce version that you know today, made as a little Valentine's gift to their player base. Both of these outfits were made in VROID Studio directly by the studio of Chartreuse Proxy themselves. 2024, version 4.0, is the latest incarnation of Chartreuse Proxy, and features the biggest collaboration among artists. Piracy now takes the reins as the lead key artist behind the design, with Yamio Satura-san handling the layering of the files. Zofanihi rounds out the process as the rigger, bringing the Wondrous Wind Mage to life for the past 2 years now. On the 3D model side of things, Unagi Agi was contacted by the dev team with their expertise in style matching to recreate PR's design perfectly from the 2D plane to a 3D environment, which is also now accessible and seen in the Affection Quest in the VR chat collaboration as well. And to round out the last of our artist credits, we are looking at the April Fool's models across the years. 1.0 featured the stuffed chibi model from Chisetto, standing at a nice and neat 2 inches high. Melonbread69 was contacted for the 2.0 model, featuring a fully functioning Nezoberry. And finally, Melon Minty's booth was used for the slime model during the 3.0 era. All of these models are still used not only just for the April Fool's stream back in the day, but as accessible stream rewards for any viewers at any time to redeem. Looking back at the old overlays and UIs, you wouldn't even believe that this used to be the same game back then. And just how far we've come in 5 years of Chartreuse Proxy. It just feels like yesterday when Flanny first came into the scene in 2021 even, or Ein's own story starting to develop in 2024.
Of course though, for those interested in more than just the summary of events presented here, the full story archives can be viewed on the Cruz Ship Discord in the main overworld, accessible by talking to any of our 3 characters for their hands-on experiences and stories in the world.
And now, onto the new updates, starting with the 4.1 graphical updates. Woo! Yeah! Following the stream starting launcher update in the 3.6 patch, the rest of the UI has been completely revamped to be consistent with the new style guide and theme. Ta-da! My dreams and ambitions have gone so far up into the sky, it's well past it now, it's into the atmosphere. With a new design that pairs perfectly with my 4.0, you can take note of all the different design details, from the bottom representing the frills in my Maid outfit, to the overlying space motifs that embody the spirit of my new color palette and evokes the spirit of GaleForce, even long after its founding and heyday.
New viewers should put some respect on Cruzy's name. A captain, a maid, a founder of her own startup. What can't she do?
As long as you give me a month. Or 2. Or 3. I can turn over any project I set my mind to. Now, this update is of course only just for the main gaming overlay. The panels have always been updated alongside every year, and it is no different, this time reflecting the rich history and staff behind Chartreuse Proxy, showcasing all the models and all the creators behind them, alongside sporting a new moon motif, showcasing each phase of the moon in all 8 panels. Be sure to check them out, and expect updates to the Just Chatting, intermission, technical difficulties, loading screens, and more to be in line with the new theme.
You know, it won't be long until I'll be featured in one of your panels. You just wait, Cruzy.
Yeah, it's not like you're already rent-free in my head, idiot. Though, I wouldn't mind seeing more of you as a regular on my channel.
Yeah, you'll only be seeing me in your dreams.
Alright. Let's save the flirting for the fan artist. Okay, we've been stalling long enough, and I know a lot of people are tuning in just for one reason and one reason alone, the unveiling of the new gacha banners in the 4.1 update. Be sure to keep a lookout on the aptly named Blue Skies and Family Ties banner, as we have featured not only just me, but the rest of the Proxy family all together as one big unit they can pull as SSR units or SR units all together. The feature unit for this banner in 4.1 is of course me, as an SSR 5-star Sky High Valkyrie Chartreuse Proxy, where you will see me truly flexing my different schools of magic, more than just the standard wind you may be accustomed to. You can pull me on the new banner, which will run from July 24th to August 1st, with a guaranteed SSR after 80 pulls or Twitch subs on this channel exactly so.
Additional characters on the banner include Exertionist Extraordinaire Grand Proxy, the middle child of the Proxy family, with her bringing skills befitting many of her travels. What I would give to travel the world just as much as she does.
Finally, Solace and Snow, Centurio Proxy, the Cold Steel hero, and eldest of the Proxy family. Frankly, as a fellow mercenary myself, I resonate with his demeanor and highly respect his skills. Though why don't we get to hear or see much from him, Cruz?
That's because he's still far off in another realm. But who knows? Maybe in another 5 years, he'll finally come home as part of the main story quest. Now, these banners will go live as soon as version 4.1 drops, with the standard gacha rates of 150 Stardust for 1 pull, or 1500 Stardust for a 10 pull with a guaranteed 4-star SR. For those of you who may not have enough funds, be sure to stay tuned for the second half of the special program after a short intermission, where we'll present our usual redeemable code, only available for a few days after the stream airs, so be sure to check your mailboxes and submit them either in the in-game browser or in the Cruz Ship Discord to get your rewards.
Additionally, everyone who enters the code will be automatically entered into a raffle, where one random winner will be selected to give their own subjects to talk about on the next Yap stream of Chartreuse Proxy at a later date.
Make sure to have her talk about how much she loves us, or have her gush about how we first met, so she can finally tell her own side of the story instead of me recounting it for the millionth time.
Alright, you two have made your points clear. Let's not embarrass me too much now in my own 5-year anniversary stream, right? We'll be back after a short intermission, where we'll then cover updates to the rigging and modeling process now, thanks to our lovely artists at the cruise ship, Zofanihi. We'll hit on the 5-year milestones that have been reached by Chartreuse Proxy and her lovely community, and what we aspire to do for the future as set goals by the dev team, and we'll have a little honorable mentions tab to cover everybody else, whether they be artists that have helped along the way, or lovely figures that have been with me, either from the very beginning, or friends who have been able to meet and have become stalwart figures in my community as both friends and collaborators. But for now, we'll be back after a short intermission. Welcome back to the Chartreuse Proxy 4.1 Special Program Announcement, Cruzmates. Let's get into the second half of our itinerary, starting with updates to the rigging and overall model of Chartreuse Proxy. The previously mentioned rigging mama, Zofanihi, has delivered a completely new setup with changes from head to toe in the model, so let's showcase some of the new changes. As many fans would unfortunately like it, we're starting from the bottom at the feet and working our way up. The lights have been entirely re-rigged, alongside the body to provide a more flowy feel for the overall presentation and body mechanics of Chartreuse Proxy, with adjusted physics for the skirt and apron, alongside both arms. The overall intention is to make the model move more smoothly and natural in its presentation. For the face, the expressiveness has been massively overhauled, with an entirely new world of reactions for players to take in using the photo tool from the in-game menu. The physics of all the hair, besides the twin tails, has also been adjusted to follow the new same flowy style guide, and given extra layering love to showcase new additions, such as Chartreuse's signature hair accessories properly layered on different bangs, or her ehode even reacting more to her own emotions. Just like before, there has been a lot of love poured into the rigging of Chartreuse Proxy, and many other secrets that I won't be able to get through without taking up more time here. But let's just say that I'm positively bouncing up and down with all the new updates, and you'll get to see that soon in the dev stream that will follow later on tonight at the usual stream slot on July 24th at 8 PM CT. The entirety of these changes can be read in the included full patch notes, which will soon be released after the special program announcement. Additionally, extra balance changes have been made to the overall gameplay of Chartreuse Proxy, which will also be detailed in the full patch notes. Notable changes include re-enabling the stream schedule ability after the game-breaking bug found in 2024 forced the disabling of the ability in the Discord channels and in the global servers. Fixed bugs whereupon calling out Dark Elves or Dark Elves by race or by namesake, specifically, Flanny and Einfall's blood would fail to properly manifest in front of user. Lowered aggression of Chartreuse Proxy for into non-hire members, and many more, which will once again be detailed in the full patch notes breakdown, which will be released shortly after stream. Now, I'd like to pull you all aside for a little bit of a heart-to-heart and a friendly yap session as we discuss some of the player milestones reached in the 5 years of Chartreuse Proxy. What started as an independent project, made to make the most out of gaming during the COVID era, has grown to be something that exceeds the original intention of the solo dev, who wanted to stream only for the reason of reaching out to one person and changing their lives. In fact, they've changed over 100 lives, as evident by their numbers that grow to this day. The Twitch channel at CG Cruiser sits at 854 followers, with an average viewer count of 3.4 for each stream. For an independent content creator who streams only near the dead of midnight due to work, that isn't too bad now, isn't it? For the YouTube channel, it sits at a milestone of 984 subscribers. While I am saddened that I couldn't push for 1K before 5 years, it's been steady growth all throughout, considering how I've held a daily upload schedule for the past 2 years now without missing a single day. The cruise ship itself sits at 116 members in the Discord, with daily conversation being a feat that I'm very proud of, with how many friends I've been able to make along this journey, and have them be able to interact both with and without me. Lastly, the amount of fan art and commissions clocks in at 170 pieces. Out of them, the highest numbers come from PR, my favorite artist of all time, who has done over 18 different pieces of cruisy or group art, followed by Anahi, otherwise known as the God of Fortune, at 16 sprites used for my visual novel kind of edits.
Of course, there's so much fan art, some of which I may have made or bought for you myself, but every time I see your fan art with your cute little neon head, I just have to smile.
Okay, that's very sweet. To be fair, lots of the fan art has been of us together now, or rather group shots with everybody, quite frankly.
I love being included in fan art with you, be that the GaleForce Christmas Day or the big posters that we did, or of course just being secretly included in Anai's anime, Akari Dark.
Let's not forget though, that it's not just fan art, but full mods as well. Chartreuse Proxy is much more traveled than many might think, with 5 game collabs in the span of 5 years. 100% Orange Juice was the first ever done, made by the wonderful friend and now retired artist Mittensei, serving as a character skin over UT Dangerous, and available to play with on the Steam Workshop. Rabbit and Steel was next, this time made completely in-house by the devs themselves, which will be a lasting trend for the other 2 games. You can grab this mod over on Game Banana, where it serves as a dance replacement skin for the Purple Dancer, slot 4 respectively. VA-11 Hull-A, otherwise known as Valhalla, Cyberpunk Bartending Action, was an entirely personalized collaboration, featuring a full 30-minute day scenario that released and took place on Ein's own birthday, featuring full in-house pixel sprites that were designed by the dev team themselves. This mod is only viewable on the YouTube channel and is not playable, but can be seen as a 30-minute standalone day with no commentary, or as part of the Valhalla series, where Chartreuse Proxy and Ein played it together, and roleplayed, including Ein's own blind reactions to his own birthday. Finally, the Red Dragon Inn from Tabletop Simulator brought the last 2 mods, with 2 separate deaths made as fully independent characters, compatible with other modded characters or the base game of the Red Dragon Inn. Play as Chartreuse in her adventuring gear, taking advantage of her wind powers and her unique updraft mechanic to empower the first cards that you play each turn. Otherwise, don the Maid outfit and serve a dutiful master each and every turn that changes. Use your cards to either help or hinder them in many different unique ways. To play these mods, be sure to join the Cruz Ship Discord for the next tabletop night, as Cruz and any past players with her will be able to share out these mod files to download in-game. Of course, none of this would have ever been possible without the help of our lovely staff that created and made everything you see here today. And we'd like to thank and honor our staff once again at Chartreuse Proxy who have helped us on this 5-year journey together one last time. For these wonderful little host sprites today, it again falls to my nanai, PR, who lovingly created all of these here for the special program today.
Thank you, Cruzy's nanai.
Thank you, PR. Always a pleasure seeing your work.
For the update to the rigging, I will once again point out Zofanihi, my rigging mama, as you'll be able to see the fruits of her labors and all of its story and live in a stream later on during the 8 PM CT dev stream for the version 4.1 update. Finally, I'd also like to give out honorable mentions to the many people who I have had the pleasure of meeting during the lifespan of Chartreuse Proxy throughout all these 5 years. This special program would go on forever if I tried to name off everybody's impact, but I do hope that you know, whether your name is here or not, whether you're still active in the VTubing community or online in general, that all of the time and love you have given to me has made me the successful VTuber in front of you now. One with a lovely community that keeps me entertained every day, that has always had my back for my streams and my content, and people who I can consider as my friends, my family, loved ones, and more, who I've never, ever would have been able to meet or connect with if not for this special journey that started 5 years ago to this day. And with that concludes the 4.1 special program announcement for Half Decade of Hearts Ablaze. Be sure to check out your GaleForce game launcher to pre-download the update, as all of the new content will be available at the standard streaming time of Chartreuse Proxy at 8 PM CT tonight. Yes, you heard me. Version 4.1 is a same-day update. So be sure to tune in for the dev stream, where you will catch me hosting once more as I show everyone all the new features directly in-game. But for now, that will be it from Fortune's Maid here. Thank you again everyone for coming on by, and wherever you are, wherever you may be, whether on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, or more, throughout all of these years, it's been your Mage of Mishaps, mastering her magic, one day at a time. It's been your Wonderful Wind Mage, your Cruz Ship Captain, Chartreuse Proxy, at your service. It's been your Wondrous Wind Maid, your Cruise Ship Servant, Chartreuse Proxy, ever and always at your service. And thank you for all of your continued support throughout these years. None of us would be here without the love and support from everyone here. So, one last time, from me to you, thank you, Cruzmates. And let's make this 5th year the best one for Chartreuse Proxy, for GaleForce, for the cruise ship, and more.
It has always been a pleasure to be with you, Cruzy, and for everyone watching us at home, thank you for coming to the stream, and may the Spider Queen bless your days.
Goodbye, and good night, everyone. Thank you for taking care of us all. Especially Cruzy.